Well, it's a nice day in the Netherlands right now. As you can see right there. The hint here is actually that I had to sell my 8.6 to buy a car that I've been testing out already for a while. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the BMW i3S. What's up everybody, Lycan-Strife here, Driftwolf Gaming. We got the camera up on the dashboard with a suction cup, so I hope it doesn't fall. We are gonna drive the BMW i3S out of this little gap right here where we were just filming. And we're gonna go over through the industrial area here, close to my house, kind of. So yeah, this is just gonna be a little bit of a talking video. Like I said, I just set up the Pocket, the DJI Pocket 2. Got my microphone right here on my shirt, trying to test that out, see how that's like. Running it through with a cable. We got the transmitter, the receiver, the thingamajiggy that uses the mic down in the center console. And we're just gonna drive the car a little bit. We're gonna put it in sports mode because that's the most fun. So the funny thing is, when you have your foot on the gas and you actually let me see if there's nobody coming out here. When you have the foot on the gas and you've got it in comfort mode or in Eco Pro or whatever, and you press the sport mode, you actually feel the gas pedal going faster down because it responds a lot better, which is really freaking cool. So you just seen the Toyota dealer on the background. I had an 8.6. To make a long story short, I imported that from Belgium. It was a very cool car. The ex-owner thought there was something wrong with it. There wasn't really something wrong with it. There were like a couple of vacuum tubes or whatever swapped around in a specific direction. And he thought that the car was actually dying, but it wasn't. Bought that car to a couple of my friends who have their own Toyota shop far away, like a 1 hour, 1.5 hour drive. They checked it, they put in new oil, new spark plug, stuff like that. They rev limited a couple of times to see how it was going. My 8.6 was an automatic and it was completely sanded down. So the next part was going to be bringing it to a person who shall not be named in this video because we had a lawsuit going against him. We almost started a lawsuit actually. We did something else. My insurance bought me off so I could get some money regarding damage, and then being able to fix the paint, because what he did was absolutely very bad. There were drips everywhere. It was just not done well enough. And then people can say, well, you didn't probably pay much for it. It doesn't matter because we saw his other work and that was a lot better than how it was on my car. So long story short, I felt awful after all the shit that he done to me. I didn't feel awful for him. I felt awful for myself and the car because I had so much love for the car, even though it was an automatic. So we decided to take the money from the insurance, which wasn't enough to actually fix it, but to get it at least to like 80%. There was a company or a specific person who has his own shop with selling cars. He had at least 2 or 3 8.6s already. He wanted to buy mine for a decent price, so we decided to sell the car to him. So we sold the car, and of course people already saw on my YouTube channel that I was testing out the i3 that I had on loan for 2 days from the BMW dealer nearby my city. And I actually already fell in love with the car when we did a first drive, even before we started borrowing the car. My lady and I, my wife and I, my girlfriend and I, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we decided to plunge in. We went back and forth on the pros and cons and decided to buy a BMW i3S. And yeah, so far I have the car now for a couple of days and I'm having a crap ton of fun in it because we're now in sport mode. Oh my god, it's so fast. Oh, makes my my food come up. That's pretty much how fast it is. I mean, 184 horsepower. It's not like the end all be all regarding power, but because you have so much torque ready at the get-go when you just drop your foot down, it's so much fun. And yeah, we're gonna overtake a bus and 2 trucks on the right side right now, because there is a road here that goes from 2 lanes to 1 lane on the left, but there's a truck here and I'm not gonna have any problem at all getting past this truck with 184 brake horsepower in sport mode. Yep, bye-bye, see you later. That's just so nice about this car. You can just, almost everybody who is at the stoplight, you can just take them on and sprint out of there in no time, which is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm just driving around right now. We still have 50 kilometers. Go away, little bird, go away, little bird. Thank you. This is always the same road. Last time I had ducks over here, and geese, and swans. But yeah, we still have now 49 kilometers, so I'm just driving it around and talking to you guys on the YouTubes, all you party people out there. Yeah, we're just driving around, like I said. So yeah, there's a lot of pros for this car. I mean, first of all, the gas prices are enormous around here in the Netherlands. They're really, really bad. So it was actually a very good time to spend money for an electric car that has at least a little bit of decent range and having a little bit of sportiness to it, which I like. And of course, the biggest thing, because I want to drift it probably one time on the wet, is that it needs to be rear wheel drive. So check those boxes. And we bought it, like I said, a couple of days ago. It was a very long drive because it was up in the north of the Netherlands, and it was, I think, it was more than 2 hours drive actually. So at the time that I bought the car, or actually went to the dude who was trying to sell it, he is not somebody, how do you say that? He wasn't a dealer or somebody who had his own company. It was just a person by himself, a family man. And he already had a Tesla. He was going to jump over to a Tesla Model Y after he sold this car. We had a decent deal on this car as well. And it only ran for 27,000 kilometers, which is pretty much nothing. So to me, this car is pretty new regarding the state that it's in. And yeah, he was nice enough and polite enough to charge the car fully. So when my girl and I went to him with the 2 hour drive, we went with her car so we could drive back, of course. And we actually decided to just take the car. We took it for a little test drive. And yeah, I was pretty much already sold. This car has almost every single option, even the panoramic roof, which is pretty cool. I have it open a little bit now on a little crack, if you can describe it like that. It's a little crack in the panoramic roof right now, a little bit of wind coming through. And yeah, I think it almost has every single option, but it does not have the adaptive cruise control. And the funny thing is, I'm not trying to call BMW out or whatever, because BMW has been very nice to me. Even all the dealers that I went through a couple of days ago just to check out different models and stuff like that. Yeah, people always say, even like I said, even the BMW dealers say, don't use the adaptive cruise control, or rather buy a model that doesn't have the adaptive cruise control, because right now we're going into a little tunnel. See, it's gonna get dark, and apparently the sensor on the window doesn't always respond that well to certain things like that, and because it's adaptive, it's gonna start braking for you, which is really annoying. So I'm really happy that I have cruise control, but I don't have the adaptive version, even though I did think that when it was working, because I've tested out a couple of models with adaptive cruise control, it's just nice because you can take your foot off the gas and all you have to do is just steer a little bit and watch how everything is going on the road. And even if you're behind a truck and you just want to like cruise and just chill out, you don't want to go somewhere really fast and you have all the time in the world, you're just going to chill out a little bit. It's just so nice to let the car do all the work for you. I mean, you turn into a very lazy driver. On the other hand though, because this car is really sporty, you do have to hold both hands on the steering wheel when you like go from a standstill into hyperdrive mode, as I like to call it. yeah, you really do feel the difference between sport and comfort. It's just a little bit, but you especially, of course, feel the difference between sport and EcoPro and EcoPro Plus, which, of course, explains itself. So yeah, again, I just really like the car. My opinion, though, because I always have problems with the sun, I don't like the panoramic roof. I'd rather have that closed, so I might have to think if I can make something for this, because I still think there's too much heat coming through and too much sun on my porcupine head, which is something I personally do not like as much. And wow, okay, there's just a dude standing here. He's probably having problems. It's a BMW. He's probably having problems with his car because he's standing on the middle of the road calling somebody with his door open. Oh well, that's foreshadowing maybe? I hope not. So yeah, I mean, it's nice. We've been driving now in sport mode, and I told you guys a while back that we still had 49 kilometers. I swear we already drove 2 or 3 kilometers, but because we're taking everything really slow, it's still on 49. I really have the feeling that this battery is really good, so I have to knock it off. No, well, not knock it off, but knock it on wood, but there's no wood in here, of course. It's all recycled stuff, plastic and whatever. But yeah, the car is just handling itself really well. We almost drove 500 kilometers with it, and it's just a breeze to use, you know? Like I said yesterday on the Facebook page of the groups that I'm in, when we order fast food, when we're like in a little bit of a hurry, or my girlfriend doesn't want to like use the stove, or she doesn't feel great, or we don't have enough time, or whatever the case may be. It's not like we order fast food a lot, but you know, sometimes a pizza is really nice. You have to pay for them delivering it to you, of course. But yeah, ever since we had this car, I say, never mind, I'm gonna go pick it up. It's gonna save money, and it's not really that far, but it's just the car invites me to go and drive it, you know? That's just really freaking